Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Talk Life with Teg. I am the Eagle Girl, and today we have a guest with us as we discuss managing finances. So basically, we'll just be talking about savings, investment, and money management in general. So, excellent, Vicky. Can you tell us a little about yourself while we start today?
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria and I am a pharmacist. I'm excited to be on this podcast today as we talk about managing our finances.
Okay, welcome again, Victoria. So we just got into the new year, it's the third week, and a lot of people have on their list to make a lot of money or to save a lot of money or things. So we'll just for a little while, and the first question on my mind, or first question I think will be on people's mind is, why is money management an important discussion? Why are we even talking about this? Can't we be talking about something else? Why do you think this is an important discussion for us to have?
Because money makes the world go round. I mean, we always need money.
That is true.
Yeah, money makes the world go round. We always need money at every single point in our life. The rich, the poor, the very wealthy, we always need money.
Yeah, money answers all things, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very important for us to know how to manage it. So there is this thing my dad usually says. He says money has wings, and sometimes it flies into a foolish man's house. And if the foolish man mismanages it, then money will fly away before you know it. It's very important for us to manage our finances. Yeah. Okay, so I think we'll start talking about savings. So what exactly is savings? I mean, why do we have to save? When we're talking about saving money, who are we talking to, and why is it important?
Okay. Savings generally is putting money aside that we're not using at the moment. That's basically what saving is. Although that's not the only way to manage money, but it's an important way.
Okay. So what do you think is the best way to save? Like for an average person who receives a monthly salary, and sometimes people are saying they don't even have enough to live by, and they're talking about saving. So what do you think is the best way to go about saving?
Okay, I think one of the best ways to save is about percentage. So if someone is receiving a monthly salary, the best thing to do is to divide your money according to, like, maybe you're saving 10% or you're saving 20%. So don't make unrealistic saving goals. Just save, keep aside what you're going to spend in a way that you will not overspend and need to go into your saving, because once you start tampering with your savings, you would lose control. So even if it's only 5% that you can save, be consistent. So decide on a percentage that you know that you can comfortably save and still be able to live according to the standard of living that you're already existing on.
Yeah. But sometimes you hear things like, I can't see myself, or you only live once, and we want to flex, we want to buy the best dress, we want to buy bone straight, we want to look fly and look good. And so sometimes it makes it quite difficult when you're talking about saving. So I don't know, is there a way to really drive it home to make us understand that this is an important aspect of money management?
Okay, one of the importance of saving is saving for the rainy days, keeping an emergency fund aside. Apart from saving for maybe a major life event or project or an investment someone wants to make, saving for the rainy days. You will truly only live once. When on the day that you really need money for something, it's not there because you didn't create that habit, that character of putting a particular amount of money aside, then you will die because you have lived once all your life.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that is actually a very important point. And then talking about investment, you can actually save money to invest it.
Yeah.
So what kind of investment, like what exactly is an investment, and what kind of investment do you think is advisable?
Well, investment is more like making your money work for you. And when we talk about investment, we have to actually think about like, what is my income? What is my level? What is my risk appetite? There are different kinds of investments. Like one of the popular investments is talking about buying stocks. There are some investing in agro funds, like short-term investment of about 3-6 months. Stock is more long-term. So you have to think about, what is my risk appetite? Why am I investing? That is very important. Your why is very important. If I'm investing for my children and I'm looking at having children in the next 10 years, so I'm looking at a long-term investment that will most likely mature in 10 years. But if I'm investing because I want to be able to purchase a house and I want to do that in 1 year, I'm going to look at an investment that in the next 1 year it will mature and it will be able to do what I want it to do. Because one of the good things about investment is that you don't just get your capital, you get much more than that. And it also prevents you from spending that money because you didn't have it at hand at the moment. So one of the things to consider is your risk appetite, your why, and how much you can put aside. Don't invest the money that you are meant to spend so that you don't end up borrowing or you get. So that's the important thing to note.
Okay, so always remember your why and understand your risk appetite. This risk appetite feels like a big English. What is risk? So can you maybe explain further?
Okay, understanding your risk appetite is understanding how much money are you willing to put aside without worrying too much about it, and for how long. If maybe I'm investing about $20,000 and then I'm looking at it maturing in 10 years time, if my risk appetite is very low, I'm going to keep worrying about if the company is going to crumble before that time and a lot of things. So you have to think about how much money you can stomach keeping aside without being 100% certain of the outcome. So that's the way to break it down, if that's clear. Yeah. And also importantly, you have to... Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I was actually going to eventually talk about risk. Investments are risky, basically. They're beneficial, but they're risky. So how do we handle, that uncertainty? We are trying to invest in this or in that. There is always a risk involved. And depending on, like you already said, what your plans are and maybe when you are, how long, whether it's a long-term investment or short-term, how do we handle that aspect of risk? Because it will make some people not to bother investing. You don't know if it's going to crash. You don't know if it's going to grow.
So talking about the risk of investing, you have to understand that not investing is a risk in itself. Because if you do not invest, you still end up probably spending that same amount of money that you could have invested. So think about a percentage that you can put aside for investment purposes, knowing that even if you do not invest it, you would still end up using that amount of money. Then make sure that you do a thorough research on any investment opportunity, whether it's bonds, stocks, treasury bills. Do not invest if you do not understand it. There are lots of information on the internet about various investment opportunities that can improve your knowledge base before you could commit to making any investment. So read, ask questions, research, watch videos on YouTube, understand what you want to invest in, and then go for it.
No, that's actually a very good point, and it's something that most youth today don't really understand. And we hear about investment opportunities and want to rush in because maybe a friend is doing it, or maybe because you know someone who invested and it really grew and you've not really understood what it's all about, and you just want to get in there. And there's something I think I heard somebody say that sometime about not borrowing money to invest or something. I can't really remember. But what do you think, you can borrow money for an investment, or it has to strictly be from what you save? Is it advisable to borrow money to invest?
Well, I don't think borrowing money to invest is a good idea, actually, because imagine that someone borrows 10,000 naira to invest, and then the investment crumbles. You're minus minus sort of. So I think it's best
Yeah.
to invest according to your means. If you can invest 10,000, invest 10,000. You don't need to go and borrow 100,000 from
Mhm.
someone to add to your 10,000 to invest. So invest according to your means. I think that's best, actually, because so help. How do I put it? Like, it will encourage, because when you borrow, of fear that you constantly be living in before the investment fully matures, if it will.
Exactly. So from your means and from what you have, make investments according to your pocket,
Yeah.
what you've been able to save. That is a very enlightening one. Okay, so we'll conclude on this discussion, and I just want to say something I saw, um, like a pictograph talking about managing finances. So it made some point about not starving yourself or cutting out on your hobbies because you're trying to manage your finances, but rather you should set a goal, make your money work for you, like you said when you talk about investment, and having a budget. So if you are disciplined to stick to these things, they are actually a good way to help you manage your finances, and you don't have to, like, maybe begin to starve yourself, like it, maybe not do the things that you really enjoy just because you are trying to start managing your finances. When you set a goal and have a budget, and then find a way to make your money work for you, maybe have a second source of income or something, and that really helps, and really helps in building your finances and managing them well. I also read something from someone on Instagram saying something about, I mean, in at the stage of life where most of us are now, you might not have a lot of income, and it might be difficult to talk about savings and investment. So the person was like that at this stage of your life, that the number one thing on the list when you're talking about money management should be building your income, like increasing your income. For example, like getting a second source of income or finding a way to boost your business. Because when you have more income, it's actually easier to put away things to save or to invest. So guys, we've heard from excellent Vicky, and just to recap a few of what she has said, she has talked about having a percentage to save, that you still be able to live, like to maintain your standard of living when you take out that percentage of your income to save. And she talked about knowing your why. When you want to invest, remember why you want to invest, and if you know if it's a long-term or short-term investment, and you assess your risk appetite and know what you can and cannot afford to invest. And then do not invest, that not investing is a risk on its own. We also mentioned that, so let's not be afraid of the risk of investment and then choose not to invest, because that on its own is also a risk. Then before investing, do a research, find out what you want to invest in, understand it very well, don't go in blindly, and don't borrow money to invest. So that is actually basically what we heard today, and I hope that we'll go into this new year with it, and we'll better know how to manage our finances. So by the end of the year, we are not looking back in regret or something like that. So thank you very much, excellent Vicky. It was a pleasure having you on this podcast.
My pleasure. So,
Yeah, that's great. So the next week, we'll come back and we'll have something exciting for you guys. Have a nice week ahead. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Bye.